when we are looking at the future of bioenergy, and of course the real situation will be a mix of this and something else. We really don't know what it is, but we know that every scenario in the future very possibly has some elements from this energy 2.0 or biosociety included. So it's good to know those things. Now, when it coming from this overall or sort of purview into the real planning, and when we try to understand what exactly it means to plan bioenergy, then we should compare three mainly used planning methodologies to understand which is the most suitable for bioenergy planning. And we could start with this sort of old type of demand-based plan, which is asking the main question: what is the energy demand in a region, and how we could answer this energy demand from the technological side with the best cost value that we could or that we can. And with this kind of planning methodology, it's very easy to see that bioenergy is not important. Bioenergy itself is not important. Nobody cares about bioenergy. The main question really is, what is the cheapest way in the future to provide energy for a community? And this is a tricky question because nobody really knows the answer. We can make predictions, and we can be right, and it's possible to be right with this kind of predictions. But there are so many ways to go wrong. So personally, I think that this type of energy planning is more of something that you could very easily do from using the tea leaves or coffee residues, or looking at the sky at night. The other problem is that all those scenarios usually are provided in energy plans. Those scenarios are based on economical calculation. We have the zero scenario, then we have the scenario of what if we could have the money, and then we have the other scenario, what if we could have lots of money. And that's it. This is, from the engineering point of view, this is almost like a joke. And main decisions are made according to the feasibility study, which is also quite questionable how you can make a feasibility study based on numbers, energy prices from the far future. No environmental or social impacts are calculated. You can make an argument that they are calculated here, as there is already today a very specific cost related with environmental sort of damage done during depending on technology. But I don't really see this as a real environmental calculation. This is something, but I don't think it's not enough. Social impact is something that nobody cares about. Although energy is the biggest business in a society, nobody cares about how many jobs it will create or how many sort of added value it gives to the society. So now we really clearly see that if we go this way, then it's very difficult to give the sort of special priority to bioenergy itself. We have bioenergy as a possibility on the table, but not more. Now, the next methodology that is used is overall called integrated energy planning, and it is very different from demand-based energy planning because the demand is seen much sort of wider way, and so the basic idea is that we are not only we don't only need a sort of amount of energy, but we need sort of specific life quality. And energy is one of the energy consumption is one of the aspects of this life quality. Well, you can see the beauty of this methodology, and when we start to analyze how the bioenergy, or how this methodology is considering bioenergy, then we see that bioenergy is prioritized here as a low carbon resource. Bioenergy is prioritized because it has lower environmental impact, long-term impact for the community as than considered with other fuels, and further it's prioritized. And also scenarios that we're using for energy planning are having those different impacts, and if we are calculating the environmental impact, then automatically we are again prioritizing the bioenergy. And the decisions are made according to lowest cost, and the lowest cost is not only the sort of cost of amount of money that we have to give out for our future, but the cost is more sort of wider term here. It means only it means also the cost. For you. This is my last slide. So, okay, now it's clear. I mean, if we could choose between demand-based planning, integrated energy planning, and our option will, or our main sort of question will be how the bioenergy is prioritized in those methodologies, then I should say go for that integrated energy planning. Now, there is other quite interesting planning methodology around for some years already. It's called Sustainable Energy Action Plan. It's quite interesting mix of this integrated energy planning and other quite interesting planning methodology, which is called climate and energy planning. And this is something that the European Commission is pushing right now. So if you have heard, for example, the government of Mayor's initiative, then you probably would know that this SEAP, Sustainable Energy Action Plan, is actually part of the government of Mayors. Every municipality who signs government of Mayors has to do the SEAP. And when we are looking about the methodology of the SEAP, then first of all, I have to say that I don't have a very profound sort of understanding of this methodology, as Estonian municipalities are just starting to do this kind of Mayors thing. Still, I can say that bioenergy is prioritized in that methodology. The main aspect is there are actually two aspects that are very clearly stated. Bioenergy and renewables, as a wider term, are prioritized as a low carbon, low environmental impact resource and as a local resource. So we automatically have those two, the most important aspects of every biosociety here on the table. Energy consumption and environmental impact are the leading or the main criteria for making a decision here. So this also has supports bioenergy developments. And scenarios are based on climate impact. So we have this other sort of end here where we have zero climate impact. We have what if we are very good reducing on climate impact, and what if we are excellent. And this again supports the bioenergy and renewables. So, I mean, from those three methodologies, we can see that demand-based planning is not very much prioritizing bioenergy. Integrated energy planning is prioritizing it through its low environmental impact and also through its social impact through the possible jobs created or possible industries created on site. And Sustainable Energy Action Plan as a methodology very clearly states the benefits of bioenergy as a low environmental low environmental impact and good local impact. So that's all from my side. Everybody can make choice of their own, but these are options available. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marek. Do anybody have any questions? We have lunchtime, of course, but yeah, if you would like to ask something, you can easily find Marek and ask and introduce our meeting. But now we have lunchtime, and for those, a couple of words before, we are. Let's try to be back on 1 o'clock as planned. I think we will manage. But a couple of words about lunch. Who are pre-ordered? There was one list. For those, table are ready in bar. For the rest of people, you can find easily the place in bar and make your lunch as well. As I told you, try to be back on 1 o'clock. Then we continue our presentations. And the partners of Pioneer, please bring me the presentations. And yes, good luck. Yeah.